What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. A Clash at the Castle is just days away and fans are eager for any news on the WWE's upcoming UK premium event. Join us now as we look at shocking last minute rumours that you need to know about Clash at the Castle. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our wrestling channel Incredible. Number 1. The beginning of something big. Now, as you've undoubtedly heard numerous times by now, Clash at the Castle is WWE's first premium event in 30 years, which means the promotion has a lot to deliver. The show is a near seller and by all indicators it will be one of the WWE's most financially successful live events in 2022. They sold an exceptional number of seats, and while a good portion of that may be due to the UK fans' eagerness to see a huge show in person, there's no dismissing the WWE's popularity in the UK and Europe. The WWE may want to nickname this year's event Cash at the Castle based on ticket sales. As such, you gotta believe, or believe if you're Bo Dallas, that the WWE wants to make this show a home run. As we've noted before, Nick Khan would prefer that the majority of WWE premium live events take place at stadiums, and while Money in the Bank failed as a stadium show, hence its move to a smaller venue, Clash at the Castle and Wrestlemania have enjoyed spectacular ticket sales. With the WWE gearing up for its NXT Europe division, this could easily become the beginning of an annual event where the WWE airs a premium event somewhere in Europe. Number 2, spoiler alert, WWE planning paradigm shift? Now, no, we're not talking about current AEW champion Jon Moxley, but one of his former fellow Hounds of Justice, Roman Reigns. WrestleVotes recently tweeted, "For the first time in a long time, there's been some discussions creatively regarding Roman Reigns dropping the title or titles. I'm hearing multiple ideas have intrigued those making the final call come Saturday in Cardiff. Should be an interesting week ahead." The story of Reigns dropping at least one of his world titles has been building up steam over the summer, and there are some good reasons to think it could happen this Saturday. First, the WWE would love to send the fans home happy with a win by Drew McIntyre. Second, with the full TV season right around the corner, the WWE may feel more pressure from the USA Network, which reportedly has asked the WWE to bring in a world title back to Raw due to Roman Reigns' rare appearances on the Red brand. Other than the question of whether Reigns will lose, the next big question is whether Roman will lose one or both of his titles. Having McIntyre win both titles would solve the problem of a part-time champion, but does the WWE want the Scottish Warrior to hold both belts? Also, the WWE seems to feel that having Roman hold a title makes any dream match against The Rock seem more important. If Roman does lose to Drew, there are various options for keeping at least one title around his waist. For example, the WWE could reveal that Paul Heyman snuck in a clause into the contract that the match wasn't for the Undisputed Championship, but only for the Universal or WWE Championship. Naturally, the WWE shouldn't announce this in Cardiff unless it wants to make the fans go absolutely berserk. Either way, a clean loss by Roman would be huge for Drew's career and could help establish him as the company's top babyface. Now, while we're not dismissing the idea that the WWE could be working the fans by leaking the story, it would be disappointing for Drew to come up short in his title quest, especially at a show with so much at stake and after the Bloodline brutally beat him on SmackDown. Number 3, no US title defenses at Cardiff. Now, it looks like Bobby Lashley won't be defending his US Championship at Cardiff. Now, that shouldn't be seen as a sign that the US title is being downplayed. As Sportskeeda pointed out, the title seems to be becoming more of a staple for the show in recent times, with numerous defenses taking place for it on Raw. While the Almighty would probably like to compete in Cardiff, there's only so many spots. Number 4, big returns. Now, with Triple H going all in on surprises, many of which revolve around returns, fans should expect returns, debuts and more at Clash at the Castle, especially since this show is so important. As firstly, the return of Braun Strowman. And one of the biggest names making the rounds in terms of wrestling returns is Braun Strowman. Wrestling's monster among men has been keeping busy with his Control Your Narrative promotion, but Fightful Select reports there's talk that WWE is interested in bringing him back. According to Fightful's Patreon site, Strowman is just one of several stars in discussion by the WWE. Strowman has kept himself in shape, and if he can stay healthy, he can play a monster heel or a badass babyface equally well. Strowman was reportedly getting paid $1 million a year during his last run in the WWE, despite the promotion using him poorly, with frequent and often unexplained turns and programs against mid-card opponents. Number 5, the return of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's name always comes up, not just because he remains one of wrestling's hottest free agents, but because he's constantly dropping teases that he's on his way back to the squared circle. A Clash at the Castle return would be spectacular, as fans wonder what gimmick Wyatt will use and who he might work against. If Strowman returns, could fans see a Wyatt family reunion? Well, the possibilities are limitless when it comes to someone as creative as Wyatt. Number 6, the return of Charlotte Flair. And while some fans were surprised that Flair didn't return at SummerSlam, it makes sense to have held her off because number 1, the WWE is continuing the build for Liv Morgan vs Ronda Rousey, and more importantly number 2, the WWE likely didn't want her return to be overshadowed by the return of Bayley, Dakota Kai and Io Sky. While we appreciate how the WWE hasn't rushed Flair back onto television, Clash at the Castle seems like an ideal place for her grand return. Look for Flair to get into the mix between Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. Number 7, the return of Tyson Fury. And while we know it's hard to gauge rumours, there's been so much chatter about Tyson Fury showing up at Clash at the Castle that this potential tall tale is worth mentioning, particularly since the WWE's crown jewel isn't far off. Not only would the Saudi Sports Authority like to get the Gypsy King to dazzle the fans, but Fury likely wouldn't mind a quick payday. However, who will he challenge if he shows up? The long-running rumour has been Fury vs McIntyre, but that could be tricky with Drew being a babyface. It's possible the two might team up instead if Fury fights. Number 8, the return of Bronson Reed. Another name that's been thrown into the hat is the return of Bronson Reed, who's currently in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But unless the WWE plans on giving him a big push, there seems to be no reason to reintroduce him into Cardiff. Number 9, Dominic Mysterio turns. Now, unless Triple H is pulling an elaborate swerve, fans will see Dominic Mysterio finally turn on Papa Ray. The 29th August Raw featured plenty of clues, including Rhea bewitching Dom into dropping his kendo stick, and later Ray telling Dominic he needs Edge's experience for the match against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Number 10, a double turn. Now, we may be enthusiastic about the WWE's better booking, but we'd be shocked if Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair don't pull a double turn, with Rousey turning heel by attacking Liv Morgan after a match against Shayna Baszler, and Flair running in for the save, immediately turning face. Now, although the Queen is a better heel, it's time for her to show her range and attempt to get over as a babyface. This could lead to some interesting tag matches as Liv teams up with Charlotte to take on Ronda and Shayna. And number 11, an extended show. And expect a longer than usual show due to how the WWE wants to present this as an extra special show. However, don't expect a quantity over quality approach. If SummerSlam is any indication, Clash at the Castle will be better balanced as Triple H skips the filler and focuses on things that entertain fans, that being brawls, promos, in-ring segments, and of course, matches. But there you have it folks, the most shocking rumours you need to know about Clash at the Castle. Are you guys going? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Perfect.